Hello and welcome to Steve McDonald's Arts and Crafts, and today what I'm going to be doing is some freeform coasters. So I've got a silicone mat here, and the link to this will be in the description, and I've got a permanent marker, and I'm drawing out the shape that I want these coasters to be. And this, you could say, is going to be like a geode type shape, which are very popular at the moment. So I'm going to do two, but I'm actually just going to show you on the one how I create it. So I've marked out what I want the shape to be, and once I've marked it out, I'll leave this a few minutes to let this dry, because I don't want this ink to come up because I want to follow this as my pattern. And it's important, I think, to have a pattern there to give you the shape that you're actually looking for. And this stuff does wipe off the mats easily. Now, what I'm going to do is going to make some my own glass fragments. And I've got this, which is called a frit maker. And again, I'll put the link in the description. What you do is you put old bits of glass or broken glass into the bottom. You use that plunger and hit it with it. And then what you can do is you can make your own glass frit. And actually, it's so much cheaper to do it like this than to buy it. And the more you hit it, the smaller it becomes. And if you don't hit it too hard, then actually you can get some quite nice large pieces. But don't forget, it is glass, so it will be a little bit sharp. So you do want to make sure that it's covered with resin, or that you're not pushing your finger in it like I do. The other thing is I use a large glue gun, as you can see there, rather than a small glue gun, because I find that using the larger glue gun gives me a smoother, easier transition of the glue onto the silicone mat. So I've given it my first layer, and I don't want these massively deep. So once that's dry enough, then I'll go over it with a second layer. And I actually quite like the little grooves and the ridges that it creates. I think it gives them more of a natural free form. And you'll see that at the end when I show you the completed pair of coasters that I'm going to make. So there's me just testing it. I just go round to smooth out any bits that I don't want sticking out and ensure that that bit's dry. And there we go. That's now having its second layer. I'll leave that to dry, and this is the frit that I'm using again, and I'm putting this in now around the centre bit, and then I'll decide if I want to put any more in than I'm using here. And it does go quite a long way, this frit, and you can store it into little jars. So I've decided that I'm going to put it around the edge of this one as well, and just the centre of this one. Now, you can kind of sieve this if you want to get rid of that dust, but I don't dislike it. So I've got some clear resin here that I'm pouring over the frit to ensure that it's well soaked and coated. But you can mix your frit into your resin first if you'd like, if you prefer that way. And in fact, doing it that way, you are more likely to get more of a pronounced finish of the glass. But I don't really want the glass to be a really pronounced finish. I just want it to be inside of the actual coaster, which is just as well because I've used quite dark colours. So I've mixed my colours up in my resin. I've used a translucent resin pigment. Again, the link will be in the description. And a little bit of mica powder as well in that gold, because I want that to stand out. So I just add this, as you can see, going round in circles around that centerpiece to give it a separation and a look of that it's not all one black and block color. So I'm finally going around with the remainder of this, which is the mica powder one, just to give it a finish. And I'll go into that with a flat-nosed needle that comes with my syringes. Again, I love these. I use them for so many different things. And I'm just going to give that a bit of a twirl and mix that in as well. Now, you'll see when this is cured what I mean about perhaps these colours were a little bit dark, but I love how they come out. So these are finished now, and they're cured, and they're ready for the glue to come off. They're really easy to get off the silicone mat. They just pull right off. But don't forget, if you use a torch on these, then it will have the same effect as if it was a silicone mould. Now, the harder bit is actually getting the glue off where the resin is. So I do this by cutting the actual glue with a knife first. And this, you do need to make sure that your resin pieces are set for this, because if not, it can cause a problem. And then what you can do is just pull the glue away from the resin itself. Now, if you've got a tatty edge like this and you don't want a tatty edge, then what you can do is you can go around that with your Dremel. Now, I quite like the rough edge, although I will tidy up these little bits here just with a knife. Real and more authentic. So to get the middle bit out, you do exactly the same thing. So cut it down there. And then you can pull it away. Okay. And there we go. They're the final two freeforms. And you can make freeforming in whatever shape that you like. I actually really like how they've come out. I do like the edges as well. I think they would make great coasters. They are nice and flat. And they were heat-resistant resin. And I just think they make coasters with a difference. It would have been nice to have seen the glass bits come out of them in them as well. But actually can see them here. And there we go. How to do a freeform. Really, really easy.